Hey, it is Breaking the News Plus on this Thursday night, and I'm pretty excited about tonight's guest because this gentleman has garnered a lot of excitement for the Wedge neighborhood for the last, I think, 8 years. The founder of Wedge Live, a source for all things fun and news, is John Edwards, and John founded the Wedge Cat Tour. Hi, John.
Hello, thank you for having me.
John, what in the heck is a cat tour?
It is a thing that I am taking credit for creating. Basically, I invite people to go on a walk with me through the Wedge, looking at cats in windows, and it's become very popular since we started it in 2017. I didn't expect it to grow to what it is today.
Why would people want to go look at cats in windows?
I've wondered that myself. It started as kind of a gag, kind of a joke. Like so I don't drive, so I'm constantly walking, or I'm on the bus, or I'm biking places, and you see a lot of, when you're moving at a slower speed, you see a lot of cats in windows, especially in the Wedge. We have a lot of apartment buildings. We've got a lot of buildings close to the sidewalk. And when you're living in a smaller space, you tend to own a cat. So the cat density in this neighborhood is tremendous. And those photos that I would post from my walks were very popular. And I thought, instead of a historic home tour, which is another thing that's pretty popular in the area, let's do a cat walking tour so people can appreciate the apartment buildings for a change. And people really want to share their cats with the neighborhood.
They certainly do. For the people that check this out, because cat lovers know no boundaries, no limits, this could be global. Describe to them the Wedge neighborhood. It's in Minneapolis. I'm not sure if it's still considered uptown. I would, but I'm not good at boundaries. What is the Wedge neighborhood? Give people a sense of geography.
Okay, so it's called the Wedge because it's triangular in shape, and it is the neighborhood between Lake Street, Lyndale Avenue, and Hennepin Avenue. Those three streets form a triangle, and we call it the Wedge. The official name is Lowry Hill East, and it's a 80% renter neighborhood. Lots of grocery stores. One of the reasons I love it is I can walk and bike places, just a density of people and destinations.
And so you go on these walks, you go on bikes, you're on the bus, you notice cats, you take pictures, people like them. Do you yourself care about cats, like cats? Is there a cat passion from whence this has grown?
Not especially. I love animals, all animals. I'm kind of growing up, I was partial to dogs. Like I had dogs growing up. I have no pets now. I don't have a cat, but like cats are a big thing in the Wedge, and I'm embracing it. And people love the idea of a cat tour, which surprised me as much as anyone.
And so also for the people watching, this is not the first rodeo for the Wedge Cat Tour. This is what, maybe your 8th year?
Yeah, this is the 8th year, started in 2017. We skipped a year in there, but we're on year 8. And every year, so it started with like a few dozen people would show up to look at cats. And we had no plan. There were no households registered. Since then, now we register households ahead of time, so we know the cats are there. But it's grown into hundreds of people from what started as like a few dozen people. So from very intimate to kind of a mob scene, but we try to keep it safe.
Yeah, Breaking the News was there last year. It was wild at the amount of people that come to check out these cats. And what really struck us is that people travel for this, John. They come here from not just out of state. We met some people last year from Canada.
Yeah, so we had to move it from yesterday, because of the flood watch, to Thursday tonight. And people had come from Vancouver, Canada, and broke my heart. I met them in the park. I was telling people it was postponed, and they had to leave. They couldn't stay for today. So we did a little private tour. We showed them a couple of cats, but I was very sad that they had come so far to see the tour, and they had shirts that said Furball Road Trip, I think. They were so excited, and they were so understanding that it wasn't happening, and I felt bad that they wouldn't be able to see the tour tonight.
Yeah, I had my fingers crossed for you guys yesterday, but man, I'm going to sound like the worst dad joke. Raining cats and dogs yesterday, had to call off the cat tour.
Right.
But that was the reality. It looks like it should clear for the cat
I've been
tour.
monitoring the weather. It's going to clear. I'm guaranteeing clear skies for tonight's cat tour.
So here's something I'm also wondering. Do the cats that are being looked at, you said that the homeowners register their house, that like come here, you can look at a cat. Do they know to pose in a window, or do they come outside? Like, how do the cats, what do they know about their performance?
It is often just a cat laying in a window. And there are some homeowners who maybe there's a balcony, somebody has a balcony, and they will bring the cat out to the balcony and kind of raise it up triumphantly. And then a roar goes up through the crowd. And people say they can hear a cat tour coming because of the murmur and the cheering from the crowd.
Oh my golly goodness. This is the most Minnesota thing I've heard today. So, John, you told me before we started the show you are not originally from the Wedge, nor are you originally from the state of Minnesota?
It's true. I'm a Florida man.
You're a Florida man, creates cat tour and Wedge. Yes. This is all starting to track. Okay, so you're not from here, but as you describe this and what you have put together is literally the most Wedge thing I have ever heard. So you have become one of us quickly.
It's true. Yeah, I'm Mr. Wedge. I love it. And maybe it's because I picked the Wedge intentionally. Like I looked at a map and I said, where's the transit? Where's the bike infrastructure? Where can I walk to the grocery store? And like, that is the Wedge. And so I have embraced Wedge culture.
What do you hear, or let me ask that question a little bit better. What is the crowd like? Like what age am I looking at? What demographic are you knocking down here? Who do I see that comes to the cat tour?
It is all types of people, and it maybe skews older than my social media audience, because never in my life have so many older women been so thankful and happy to see me. Just kind of and that's it is so great how thankful people are when the tour is over, because you always wonder, is this big thing that I'm putting together and hyping up, is it going to live up to the hype every year? And people are it's a joyful experience for everyone, and everybody has a lot of fun.
And for folks that don't go, just to describe it, everybody meets at a park in the Wedge, and then you kind of, for lack of a better term, another dad joke, herd cats of people to the homes, to the look-see, on to the next one.
Right, and there's very little narration from me because the crowd is usually too big for my voice to reach anyone. So everyone is just basically following me in a big line, a big snake of people, hundreds of people through the streets of the Wedge. I keep everyone going the correct direction, and people will call it, oh, there's a cat, and sometimes I will point them out. Sometimes I don't see them, but when you have that many people, it's, everybody's helping each other out to make sure we see all the cats.
I thought the state fair was the thing, but this to me even seems more, it just flat out is, John. It's just more quirky. And I don't see a lot of, especially when you started it in 2017, not a lot of duplication in major cities that were doing these kinds of walking cat tours, to my journalistic knowledge. But gosh, John, last year you had People Magazine, the Washington Post. This year, PBS is filming a special on it.
Yes, this year PBS, they have multiple cameras. It is a big production. It's called Shelter Me is the name of the PBS TV show. And we visited in Minneapolis Animal Care and Control and saw their operation. So Minneapolis Animal Care and Control has a great national reputation as a no-kill shelter. And it's not the bleak situation there that you would when you hear of the pound or a shelter. These animals are very well taken care of. So they are going to tell that story. And they will also have 11 kittens at Mueller Park tonight for adoption. They're adorable and they will go fast. So people would really need to get there to get a chance to adopt those kittens.
Oh man, can you imagine a family takes their kid and then you just say you're going on the cat tour and then you leave with an actual cat? You couldn't go every year if that was the expectation.
Yeah, you could leave with a cat this year.
Yeah. What is the actual workload here? Because all kidding aside, last year you had several hundred people. This year, if the weather holds, you could do that and then some. Is it getting a little bit too big?
It may be. I get nervous about the crowds. It's mostly like a clerical and communications job. Like I have a sign up sheet for online for households. So I'm keeping track of that, and I use those addresses to pick out where all the cats are. So I try to do the most efficient route possible. I'm communicating. People are complaining about the weather constantly. Like, are you sure? It looks like it's going to rain today. Are you sure you're going to do it this time? And like people complaining about the weather to me is that's my least favorite aspect of running the cat tour.
It's also just a very Minnesota thing. We got to,
Right.
accountability stops with you. If you organize the event, then you're in charge of the weather for said event. That's just how
Right.
it goes.
Yeah.
Do you think the cats actually like it?
I don't know. So sometimes they are hard to wrangle, and I feel bad for the cat parents who are holding them. Sometimes, sometimes they will try to wrangle them by putting treats, like smearing treats on the window, which that's fun. Uh, I so I've heard from the PBS film crew that is here to do the TV show that the wedge cats are surprisingly well behaved and they play to the camera well, which I can believe, and that they would know. They've been across the country featuring animals for their show.
Yeah, and like wedge cats by now, I mean, they know, like they have a
Right.
role to play. Like they have their own show. It's like the Cat State Fair every June.
Right, they're well practiced. We do this every year.
One other thing I want to ask you about before I go, I discovered your merchandise page today. People can get the Cat Show, Wedge Cat Show T-shirts and mugs and tote bags.
And yeah, there's an all over print Cats of the Wedge tank top, which it's the one I have is no longer very flattering, but I'm hoping to be able to fit back into my Wedge Cats of the Wedge tank top soon. There's tote bags at wedgelive.com if people want to go and purchase some merchandise.
That Cats of the Wedge tank top is, I mean, it's a shirt like I haven't quite seen before. I'm not sure that I wanted to see it. It just is, it's memorable, is what I'll say.
Yeah, shout out to Ryan Brown, who is our head of security at the Wedge Life Cat Tour, who pulls off that shirt so well.
Shout out to Ryan Brown for being able to put on his CV that he's the head of security for the Wedge Life Cat Tour. I mean, put it at the top, Ryan. Well, this has been a treat. It's only second to actually being at the cat tour. I'm allergic to cats, so will not be in attendance. But love the idea. It's hilarious. Congrats to you, John, on year 8. And have fun out there.
Thank you. See everybody tonight.
That's John Edwards from Wedge Live, who puts on the Wedge Cat Tour. Good stuff. We'll see you tomorrow.